Okay, so I've already alipotted out everything here. So to start, we're going to be using the plasmid. So we have 5 microliters.
And remember, we will use the micropipette. Remember, we have an explanation how to use it. This one is a micropipette. The maximum volume is 20 microliters because we are going to use volumes that are between 1 and 20. So this is the micropipette. Remember, you will use a tip to pick up the volume. Here you have a tip, a plastic tip that is disposable. Okay, so we are.
So I'm going to be using the plasmid PBR 322 instead of PUC 19.
Wait. So it's going to be here. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to be taking 5 microliters of our plasmid.
Remember, you pick up the volume and then.
I'm going to be putting that into an empty tube for a reaction.
And then you remember you have to push all the way. Wait a second, all the way. You can see that the volume is there. It's that drop, the 5 microliters. Okay.
Just grab the waste container. So the DNA has been added. Next, we're going to add our restriction enzyme, PST1.
The same 5 microliters. Show the pipette here. The 5 microliters. Can you see? This is the maximum volume is 20, so we have 5. So when you pipette, you push not all the way down, your yellow button on the top, and then
So we're going to add that.
There you are.
And we're going to gently pipette up and down to mix.
Remember, these are proteins that you are adding, so you don't want to make any bubble. So very carefully, you up and down, without making any.
Now, the next restriction enzyme, BAMH1, we're not going to add because, as you remember, we're doing a single digest of PST1. So that dash on the third line down for BAMH1 represents that we're not adding this enzyme. So instead, we're going to be adding now our 10x BSA, and instead of 5 microliters...
Look at that. He's changing now with the other ring to 2.5, okay? Because remember, the final volume will be 25 microliters, so if it's a 10x, it's 2.5. And again, the same procedure, you add up and down.
Next, we're going to add our 10x buffer 3.
And these are remember, we are working with enzymes, restriction enzymes, but they are enzymes, so they have a preference of pH and conditions that they would like. We will see these 2 enzymes, they like to be incubated at 37 degrees, but there are other enzymes that they like different temperatures. So, and finally we will add.
We're going to add our deionized water. So because this needs a final volume of 25 microliters, we increase the pipette to 10 microliters.
It was a little off. Okay, 10. Can you see 10? And you pipette from a tube that says water. And now you discharge.
Okay, so we now have a tube that has all of our reaction conditions for a single digest of PST1.
So now we have to incubate this at 37 degrees. As you know, we already use a water bath that is set at 37 for 1 hour. So in 1 hour, we'll come back and we'll take the tube.